Good morning, guys. Do you ever have those like days or like those moments where you're like, I just want to change my whole life? Like, I just want to start everything new. I want to cull all of my belongings. Like, I just want to feel like a brand new person. I kind of had one of those moments yesterday, and I've been feeling like this for a while. Like, I just haven't been super happy with my habits and my routines, and my self-discipline has been just like shot. I don't know why. I feel like I used to be such a disciplined person, and I just don't feel like that anymore. And I hate that about myself, because I feel like self-discipline is so incredibly important, and obviously just, you know, like helps you live a life that you actually want to be living, because you're doing things that you want to be doing and feel like are good for you. And I have just felt very sluggish, very lazy, just like not I don't know, just like not living the life that I really want to live. So I've been feeling like that for quite a while, and I also talked to my therapist about it, and we came up with some, you know, like things that I could implement that would be helpful. And over the past few days, honestly, I've been implementing those things, but yesterday I kind of had that moment where I was like, no, I like really want to like just go all in and just like fully do almost like a life reset and just like fully change my routines and do all those things. And that's dangerous, because obviously you can't like change every habit overnight. So I've been realistic with myself, obviously, but I've had that moment multiple times before where I'm like, I'm gonna like do all these things, and then I wake up the next morning, do none of them. But I don't know, you know how sometimes it just hits different? And like yesterday, I just had that moment where I was like, no, I'm actually gonna do this. Like, I really am actually going to do this. I'm also reading this book about like different motivations and different types of people, and you know, like techniques that different types of people can use to achieve the habits and the routines and behaviors that they want to achieve. And that has been really helpful. I might talk about it later. But this morning is the first day of this new routine that I set for myself. So obviously I don't want to like jinx myself, because I feel like the first day is like partly the hardest, but partly the easiest, because you have the most motivation, but also it's like you've never done it before, so it can be really intimidating. But so far so good. I literally feel amazing. I'm not gonna lie. Crazy how a good routine can make you feel incredible. Who would have thought? But I woke up, hung out with Liam for a bit, drank my greens, got myself ready, did my skincare, went for a walk, came home, went straight out to do the grocery shopping because I really needed to, and also I had nothing for breakfast, so I mean, I didn't really have a choice. But also, doing your grocery shopping at 7 a.m. in the morning is incredible. Like, there is no one there. I will say some things aren't like restocked yet, because it's obviously so early, like they haven't had a chance to restock something, so like that's the only bad thing. But it's so empty, it's so peaceful. I get so like overwhelmed in a busy shopping center and a busy grocery store, and it was just literally incredible. I need to start doing that every week, going at like 7 a.m. Got home, put the groceries away, just sat down and made my coffee and my breakfast, and it's not even 8 a.m. That's crazy. I also didn't touch my phone till 7:30, and that is amazing for me. I really don't want to be sitting on my phone in the mornings. Like, I just don't need to. I think it's just like when you wake up and you're just like tired, the idea of doing anything is just like a bit like I'm just trying to wake up, you know, I'm still half asleep, and so you just like scroll through your phone for a bit. Like, we all do it. I'm guilty of it. I do it very often, and I mean, it's not like the worst thing in the world, but I just like, I don't know, I don't like wasting my mornings, because my mornings are my favorite part of the day. And I feel like, I know this is not revolutionary, but like when you have a good morning and like a productive morning and just kind of like tick off a few things like right as soon as the day begins, you just feel good and you just feel like you can achieve everything. So I'm going to try and implement no phone till about 7:30, and we'll see how it goes. On my to-do list for the day, honestly, just a few random things. Probably not too hectic of a day. I have my to-do list written out already, so that's good because right now my mind is blank. I don't know what I'm doing today. Liam and I have to go to the bank. That's not fun, but I mean, that'll only take like 10 minutes, I think. So anyway, I'm just gonna bring you guys along with me for my day. I already feel so good and like so motivated. I just feel like so good about today. My first task of the day is editing a little sponsored reel that I've been working on. I'm really excited to work with this brand because I'm obsessed with them. So this is really exciting. I did a little like hosting DIYs reel with Cricut. I'm working with Cricut and I'm just so excited about it because I feel like I use Cricut for my hosting stuff all the time. Anyway, I need to film my voiceover. This is like the worst part. It's not necessarily like a hard thing to do. It's just like I can't seem to talk when I actually have to do a voiceover. Like I feel like a lot of people feel like this. Like why can I talk so much? Like I talk so much. And then as soon as I'm trying to film a voiceover, can't talk. Doesn't work. So let's try and get this sorted because I want to send this off for approval very soon. And the voiceover is really the last bit apart from just like final little touch-ups. Okay, bestie girls, let's do this. I already stuffed it. Testing, 1, 2, 3. I don't have a fancy microphone. This is the fanciest it gets here. Come with me. 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 Come with me as I make some fun DIY. I use transfer lastly, we're up. Have my next tablescape sorted. Let's see if that's any good. I just went to the bank and tell me why that took an hour and a half out of my day. That was supposed to be like a 2-minute appointment. I hate the bank. And it was also one of those appointments that could have been 2 minutes, maybe 10, and it took an hour and a half. Like that is so frustrating. Doing that was kind of giving this could have been an email vibes. Like all of the things you're telling me, you could have sent in an email. I did not need to come in for this, and also you're talking so slow. Anyways, it's fine. But I came home, had some lunch. I also got some packages today, and this is like the perfect day for these to arrive because I've been talking about like being motivated and starting new habits and routines and stuff like that. The lighting is not great over there, so sorry besties. First up, we have this to-do list from Steph Pays Planners. I love Steph Pays Planners. I have this giant A3 monthly calendar that I live by. I've used it for a long time, at least over a year. And as much as I have tried to be a digital calendar girly, it does not work for me. I don't know why, but if I can't see it right in front of me, it doesn't exist. So that monthly planner like saves my life. So love Steph Pays Planners. She's also a book girly, which we absolutely love. Anyway, I got this new to-do list. Again, a conversation that I had with my therapist about like routines, habits, getting stuff done, all of that sort of stuff. She recommended 2 things for me. One, she recommended for me to do a work to-do list and a home to-do list, which this is perfect for that because it literally says home to-do list, work to-do list, and it's like a little book that you open and then it's like a pad on this side and a pad on this side, and that is just so helpful for all of my visual girlies out there who need to have that separation, especially if you work from home, because I was saying to my psychologist that I really struggle to have a work-life balance because my life is my work and my work is my life, so I find it hard to separate. So this will hopefully help me do that. And the other thing that she recommended to me, also none of this is sponsored, this to-do list was gifted, which I really appreciate, but this one I just ordered and paid for myself. This is called Fast Brain Friend, and it's a little planner. It's only 1 month worth of planner. That doesn't make sense. This planner only goes for a month, and so you would have to repurchase it every month. It's not super expensive, but I just wanted to get one of these to try out for 1 month to see if it's something that works for me. This is a planner designed for people with ADHD. I have personally not been diagnosed with ADHD, but my psychologist said whether you have ADHD or not, depending on like the type of person you are, like this could be a really helpful strategy, and she thought that I would be a person that would really enjoy this. But I'm really excited to try it. Basically, it has a weekly layout. I'll link them down below, by the way. Like I said, I purchased this myself, not sponsored. It has a weekly layout like this. Also, it comes in so many different colors, which is really fun. I digress. A weekly layout where obviously you have like priorities and, you know, different things that you need to work on. It has a little habit tracker section. And then after a few of those like weekly layouts, it has daily layouts. Obviously you fill in one of these every day. And the cool thing about this is that every single day is a different layout. And I know a lot of people might hate that and be like, no, I need the same layout every single day. But for my brain, I think this will be very beneficial and very helpful because it kind of keeps it fun, it keeps it exciting, keeps it challenging, and that's kind of the point. So I'm going to try this out and start using it, and obviously I'll get back to you guys when I've used it for a while and let you know if it's something that works well for me. I feel like it's very much going to be like a case-by-case basis. Like some people I'm sure would love this, and some people are probably like, I would hate that. But I'm going to try it out and see how it goes. And I was just like, wow, perfect deliveries to arrive on the day that I'm talking about, like kind of doing a big reset and trying to start new routines and all that sort of thing. Also, going to the bank and being stuck there for an hour when I did not allocate time for that kind of stressed me out. But you know what? We adapt and it's fine. I'm trying not to let it stunt me. I just have more editing to do now. Nothing too crazy. It is 1 p.m. right now. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind what I hoped I would be up to because my appointment at the bank took so much longer than I thought. But it's fine. Also, I want to show you my outfit because I'm kind of obsessed with it. I haven't worn this shirt before and I just think it's so fun. I recently got it. It's from Petal & Pup. You can also get matching shorts, but I have a bunch of white linen shorts, so I was like, I don't need to get the matching shorts. I can just wear some that I already have. And I'm just wearing it with denim shorts today as well, obviously. But look how cute it is. It's kind of giving like pilgrim, but in the best way possible. I mean, I know that a pilgrim wouldn't actually wear this, like gaping holes in it, but like the sleeves and like the feel of it and just like, I don't know, I think it's so cute. It's got little ties in the middle and you can also untie this one and have it open like that. I think that's also very cute and I just love it. I think it's so fun. So Petal & Pup, I think I might have a code for them. I have a feeling it might be RC20. If you want to use it, you can. Obviously, you don't have to. I'm not sponsored, but I love Petal & Pup. So I feel very cute today, even though I'm just sitting in front of my computer. At least the lady at the bank got to see my cute outfit, you know what I'm saying? It is now 4:10 and I try and finish all my computer work at about 4 p.m. Doesn't always happen, but that's the goal. And today, I think we're mostly, I'll probably have to do a bit after dinner. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm done for now. And I haven't done any reading today. So I was like, let's like sit down, do some reading, kind of chill out a bit before I'm gonna make dinner at like 5:30. And I thought, well, I'm here. Why not give you guys a bit of a reading update, a bit of a book chat, if you will. I am currently reading 3 books at once. Actually 4 if you include my audiobook. Chaotic Reading Habits for My Chaotic Brain. It works well, so you do you. The book that I'm loving the most at the moment is definitely Sorcery of Thorns. I think I have just over 100 pages left. I would love to finish it today. I don't know if that's going to happen. Either today or tomorrow probably, but I am loving this. This is YA fantasy and I don't know if it's considered gothic, but it kind of has a bit of a gothic vibe to me, just a little bit, because it's set in like a lot of old libraries and like manors, and there aren't any ghosts, but it kind of has a bit of a ghosty vibe to it. It also reminds me a lot of The Last Hours. I think okay, I am very late to the bandwagon. This is a very popular book. A lot of people have read it. I'm probably one of the last people to jump on the bandwagon of this, but I still want to talk about it because I know that there are people out there who haven't read it. So if you haven't read it, please go read it. It is so good. Obviously I haven't finished it yet, but I'm just like, I'm loving it so far. It's like the first book that I've been like really genuinely excited about in a little while. Not like a super long time, but I just haven't found any books that I've been obsessed with this month. And this book is definitely like the closest to a 5-star I've felt this month. And to be honest, I don't even know if this is like quite 5 stars, like it's maybe like 4.5, but it is definitely up there. Like it's so good. But I feel like I was about to just be like, oh my gosh, like you guys have to read this. Like I don't know if you've heard of this book, like let me get you onto it. And that's so dumb because it's very popular. Like I know I'm not the first person to discover it, but if you haven't read it, like please go pick it up. It reminds me a lot of the Last Hours trilogy by Cassandra Clare and also the Infernal Devices as well. But it has that kind of historical element to it a little bit. I don't really know what the era is supposed to be, and I don't really have a lot of historical knowledge. In my mind, this is giving me like Bridgerton era vibes. or like something similar. I could be so wrong with that, but that's like what my imagination is giving me. The same as like The Last Hours and The Infernal Devices, in the sense of there's like balls to go to and girls are wearing gowns and they're having these fancy dinners and young men and women are getting like set up in advantageous marriages depending on the families that they come from, like that kind of vibe. But I feel like the thing that I'm loving the most about this book is that our main character has been raised in a library. I think she's an orphan, but instead of being raised at the orphanage, I can't remember why, it was explained to me, it doesn't really matter that much. She was raised in the library, and she herself kind of says, I never really got along with people, I never really hung out with kids my own age. I was always like hanging out with the books, like the books were my friends. And she just like was raised in this library, so she just has crazy knowledge about books. They call them grimoires, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And the books themselves are magical, and so like the library is magical. And like, you're actually kidding, like a girl who was raised in a library, obsessed with books, magical books, like it is just the perfect vibe, like so cozy but still high stakes. Like I want to describe it as a cozy fantasy because it gives me cozy vibes, but it is still high stakes, so I don't think it could be described as a cozy fantasy. There's magic, there's spells, there's like evil people, like it's so good. I love it. I think it's going to get a super high rating from me. I am feeling a bit slumpy at the moment, and so I think that has inhibited me from enjoying it to the extent that I may have if I wasn't feeling as slumpy. Like it's taken me a while to get through this book, but I don't think it's the book's fault. I think it's just like how I've been feeling recently, and I don't even know why I'm feeling slumpy, but I feel like this book has kind of suffered because of it. So I think at another point in time, this could have been a 5-star read for me. Like I said, it's still probably going to be really highly rated, but it's not like quite giving me that 5-star feeling because it's not like, oh my gosh, I can't put it down. But I think that's because of me, not the book. So I am loving this. It is so good. However, like I said, I feel like I've been a bit slumpy, and I feel like I've been very much in the mood where it's like I can't seem to concentrate on things super well before getting distracted and just like not being able to sit and read for a long time. So the times where I feel like I can't concentrate super well, whether that's like in the middle of the day or in the morning when I'm reading that book and I'm just like, oh, I'm not taking this information in, I'm gonna put it down for now. Or at nighttime, right before I go to sleep, I often like can't concentrate on a fantasy, but I can concentrate on like a contemporary, more chill kind of book. And during those times, I have picked up What Happens After Midnight. To be fair, I'm not that far into it because I'm only picking it up like when I don't have the comprehension skills for this. Also, this is not that hard to understand. I don't want you guys to think that. It's literally just me being in a slump. So yeah, I'm not very far into this, so I feel like I can't say too much about it. I think I'm only like 50 pages in. But so far, so good. I'm enjoying it. It's a YA romance, but it's about a girl who is in her senior year of high school, and she's also at a boarding school, and her mum is on staff, so she lives with her mum on a house on campus. She doesn't live like in the actual dorms with her friends, which is a little sad because I kind of went into this expecting like the full boarding school experience, but there's no dorm, she's not living with her friends, which it loses some points for that because I love a boarding school setting and it's just like not giving the full boarding school vibes, but it's still good. But anyway, our main character is very much like a goody two-shoes. She follows all the rules. She's kind of like teacher's pet, and I think she's kind of coming to the realization where she's like, is that really the best idea? Like, is it actually that great to be a goody two-shoes? Like, I don't know, maybe I should have like lived a little more during my high school experience. And so when she gets invited to take part in the senior year prank by the senior year jester, she's kind of like, yeah, like why not? You know, I only have one more chance to kind of live a little, YOLO, you know what I'm saying? So she's gonna do that, and that's all I'm up to at this point. Also, I have really not been in a romance mood recently. I don't think I've read a single romance book all month, and it is the 27th today, so yeah, like the idea of reading a romance book sounds so bad to me, and I don't know why. I've only been reading fantasy, sci-fi, and like mysteries and thrillers. So this is the first romance I've picked up all month, and I'm enjoying it. Like, it's good. I'm not obsessed. I don't know if it's because of the book or because I'm just like not vibing with romances that much, but I just needed something like really easy to read, and this is definitely ticking those boxes. So enjoying this so far, but again, I'm not far enough into it to really have a lot to say about it. And then lastly, this is the non-fiction book that I'm reading at the moment, and this is the one that I was kind of talking about this morning. It's called The Four Tendencies by Gretchen Rubin, and this is the book that my psychologist recommended for me. She wasn't like, oh my gosh, you need to read this. She was just kind of like telling me about the four tendencies, and she's like, oh, it's from this book, like it's really interesting read. And I was like, honestly, I really want to understand more about it. I want to read more about it. So I got the book. I was introduced to this concept probably a couple years ago. I listened to a podcast where they discussed this and I thought it was really interesting, but I never like really did a deep dive or like really looked into it. And so when she brought it up, I was like, oh, I've heard about this concept. Like, it sounds really interesting to me. I was about to say it's kind of like a personality test, but in the book, it's like, this is not a personality test. It's more like people kind of fall into 4 different categories depending on kind of like where their motivation comes from, whether it's intrinsic or extrinsic. Everyone kind of naturally falls into one of these 4 categories. And depending on that category, there are different things that you can do in order to kind of combat your weaknesses and also work to your strengths. So there's the upholder, the obliger, the rebel, and the questioner. I'm not gonna like go into it because it's kind of like we could be here for 20 minutes sitting and talking about it. I do think it's really fascinating, and I do think it, like, if you guys are interested, go and read about it. You can read about it on her website, and you can also do the test or like quiz where you can find out which one you are. And I would be so intrigued to know which one you guys are if you do happen to do the test. There's no like bad option. There's like strengths and weaknesses to every single tendency. I am an obliger, which basically means I'm a people pleaser. Crazy, who would have thought? But it means that I get a lot of my motivation from other people and from other people like getting me to do tasks and like being accountable for doing things rather than inside myself and like wanting to do things. Like if I want to do something, like I might get it done, but if someone else wants me to do something, I will definitely get it done. And so there are like techniques and different things that you can do in order to kind of work to your strengths and like see how you can get your type of motivation to work for you. And it has been honestly very helpful. I honestly have not read much nonfiction this year, and a lot of the nonfiction that I have read this year have been memoirs, which there's nothing wrong with a memoir. I really enjoy a memoir. I think they're very beneficial and also just like interesting. But I used to read a lot of books like this. I don't want to say self-helpy, but like psychological kind of books. I studied psychology at university. I have a psychology degree. It's a huge interest of mine. I love psychology. I love understanding human behavior. I love understanding how the brain works. And I kind of forgot about that. And this book has really like reminded me that I love that and that I'm so interested in all of that kind of stuff. And maybe I need to get back into my nonfiction era. I definitely don't read nonfiction as fast as I read like novels, but I don't know, this has really reignited that love for nonfiction in me, which I know is not for everyone, but I just thought I'd mention it because I know a lot of people out there do love the same sort of thing I do, like human behavior, psychology, self-improvement, stuff like that. Anyways, those are the books that I'm reading at the moment. Honestly, all pretty good. Like I don't really have a lot of complaints.
November, so I'm trying my best.
As soon as we sat down to eat dinner, it started pouring and it's been raining ever since, and like lightning and thunder. So weird. Because you guys saw the weather earlier in the day. It was literally, what the heck is my hair doing? When I went for my walk this morning, it was literally like blue skies, perfect weather, and now it is storming. I guess it's cozy. I'm probably gonna sit down and just like edit and read for the rest of the evening. But before I do that, I have a little announcement. Actually, announcement, this makes it sound way more fun than it actually is. Not really an announcement. I have something to talk to you guys about. Again, very unimportant. Don't raise your expectations, please. I think I'm gonna put myself on a book buying ban. I don't want to, but I think I really need to. Literally just for like a month. Not even a long time. Just a short little mini book buying ban, just so I can get through some more of my physical TBR. I feel like I've talked about this before, but for me personally, I just get very overwhelmed when my physical TBR is too long and have just like too many books to read. Like it doesn't make me feel happy, it just makes me feel stressed, because it's almost like there are too many options and I don't know what to read next, and I get really indecisive, and it's just like not fun for me personally. But I also know that not everyone else feels that way, so I'm not trying to be like, you should all feel the same way as me and you're wrong if you don't agree with me. I'm just saying everyone feels differently. I remember hearing someone say, I think it was Jack Edwards, but I could be wrong, forgive me if I am, but I think he said something along the lines of he sees his TBR as a wine cellar, and in the way where you have like a wine cellar that you continually add to, you know, like you might go to a winery and you'd be like, oh wow, this wine seems really beautiful, you buy it, you take it home, you might not open it and drink it for like 10 years. Maybe you drink it next month, maybe you drink it in 5 years, maybe you drink it in 20 years. You don't buy it to drink straight away. And he kind of sees his physical TBR kind of like that. Like he'll buy a book book because it sounds really good, and then he'll bring it home, but he might not plan to read it until a year later, 5 years later, who knows. And that really works for him. I wish I could say the same, but I just don't feel the same. I have tried to have a longer TBR, a shorter TBR, lots of different things, and I think just for me personally, I love to have just like somewhat of a manageable TBR. I feel like my dream TBR situation would probably be maybe like 30 books. I definitely have more than 30 books on my TBR right now. Also, if you can hear the thunder, sorry. I don't know if you guys will be able to hear it or not. It's kind of crazy. I can't believe it's storming. Anyway, I feel like 30 books would be ideal for me. I think I have like 60 something at the moment, but I feel like I'd love to have like 30 to 40. That would be my ideal situation. And I think my goal for the end of this year specifically is to try and read at least one more row of my physical TBR. And the thing is, I actually am reading my physical TBR. I definitely am. I read at least like 10 plus books from my physical TBR every month, but then I just keep buying more books and it doesn't ever feel like I'm making a dent. So by putting myself on a book buying ban, it'll allow me hopefully to make a dent in my physical TBR without just like replenishing it right back up to where it was before. So my goal is to have like the top row clear. That doesn't mean I'm only going to read books from the top row, like maybe I'll, you know, read books from other shelves and rearrange it a bit, but I'm telling you guys because that means I have to do it. I was like, I don't really want to tell the vlog. I'll just keep it to myself. No, keeping it to myself means I will not do it. By telling you guys, it means I have to do it, and I'll feel disappointed in myself if I don't achieve this. And it's not a hard thing to do. 1 month not buying books is not a hard thing to do. And there are exceptions to the rule. If I get gifted a book, whether it's like from a friend or something, like obviously Christmas is coming up, so I might potentially get gifted books, I don't obviously know, or gifted books from publishers and authors, which I do get sometimes. Those are exceptions to the rules. And maybe Ruthless Vows, which comes out December 26th. That's probably the only book I'll allow myself to buy. But I'm just thinking, if I really want to get a book that I don't have on my physical TBR, I'm either going to borrow it from the library so it's not adding to my physical TBR, or I'll get it on my Kindle. So obviously it doesn't mean that I can only read books from my physical TBR. There are definitely like ways around it if I really want to, but at least I'm not like adding to this situation, which is becoming overwhelming to me. But also there are some really great books on my cart at the moment. Like I'm really excited about a lot of these books, and I don't really feel like I'm limited. Like I have so many choices. We have a bunch of Christmas romances on here, and also just like other books that I'm genuinely so excited to get to, and it's only 1 month. I mean, if I start the new year and I'm still feeling overwhelmed, then maybe I'll keep this whole like book buying ban going even longer, but we will rediscuss that in the new year. That is not a problem for right now. But I think I'm gonna actually end off this little daily vlog here because like I said, I'm just gonna edit, read, hopefully I don't think I'll finish Source Read Films tonight, probably tomorrow, but yeah, edit and read tonight and then go straight to bed. So I hope you guys enjoy spending the day with me. I don't really do daily vlogs very often. I would love to do more of them because I honestly really enjoy it, but I hope you guys had fun hanging out with me. I always have fun hanging out with you guys. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.